top 3 TV series of the year. So I got 3 here. I'll start. My number 3 was The Last of Us. Don't know if you guys saw that, but it's based off on a game, PlayStation 4 game about because it's like a zombie. It's a zombie apocalypse, and the story is about a man who loses his daughter and has to take another girl because apparently this girl has the cure for the zombie apocalypse. So he has to take her across the country and protect her. So they go on a venture to take her across the.
She's the savior.
She's the savior of the people and all that. But it's a good program. It came in a time where I don't know if you guys watch or into The Walking Dead, but to me, The Walking Dead, man, I let that go. It's season 4. I think it's season 100 right now.
Is it?
It's one of those programs that keep going and going, and
they just keep making stuff up.
Keep making it, and you just get bored. So when they said they were going to make another zombie program called The Last of Us, I was sort of thinking, why? Hasn't Walking Dead killed the whole genre?
Yeah.
But if we watch Last of Us, they haven't, man. It's good. It's good. It's really good, and it's good. It's surprisingly good. Good story, good action. You care about the characters. You care about what's going on, and it's different. It's different to The Walking Dead. I think there's more production value in The Last of Us. You're not dealing with in the forest all the time, like in Walking Dead. You're dealing with cities and all that, and the stakes are much higher. So I give Last of Us season 1 my number 3 pick.
Exactly. My number 3 came in last, bro. It came from left field, man. It was like out of nowhere. Shout out to Channel 23 on Sky. But they started playing the reruns of American Chopper from season 1.
Yeah.
And so they play it every day. It was like an everyday thing for the last 2 months now. So I'm up to season 5. But every theme bike and pretty much every emotion that goes on between the father and son, because they're literally putting out their dirty laundry in front of the shop and in front of the workers, in front of the nation. But what I can appreciate the son is that he takes it on the chin, in front of his mates, Can you imagine going into your own workplace where you hear your fellow colleagues, they might say the odd joke about your dad, but that's your old man. Yeah, Paul goes every day, he still shows up, gets the bike, he still delivers, So like from that perspective, I thought, man, Junior's like the man, because at the end of the day, the bike gets done, no matter what his creative niches or what he needs to get the creativeness flowing. But it's just amazing how his dad's always on his ass. It's like, there's never ever say where he comes out and he's like, where's Paul? Fucking hell, man. It's like, I had $1 for every time he says, hey, who's your mate? And what's cool about it is that no one in the shops ever does it, Like, no one in the shop would ever say it unless it was Vinny. Like, Vinny would say, he's pissing around in the office, like, with Paul, and like, fucking designing. It's like, bro, he's the designer. He's supposed to do things out here. Let the guy on the desk do that sort of designing. But it's just amazing, man, like all the arguments they've had and like where the family is now. So, yeah, man, I've always loved that program, man. Yeah. It made me want to buy a bike too. But now I was like, after watching all the drama back again, watching it maybe the 3rd time around, I got a more of appreciation for the bro working with his dad, because fuck, that must not be easy, man.
No.
So yeah, American Chopper season 1 to 5.
Nice, Wolf. Nice.
First one, 3 would be the Swamp Kings. Just the
Swamp King.
What's it called? The Florida Gators. Tim Tebow and.
Oh yeah.
So that was good. That was a good series. Didn't know that background and college football hype and. So really enjoyed the Swamp Kings. Because I always heard about Tim Tebow and stuff like that. So it was good to get an insight into who he was and. Story. Not just him, some of the other athletes in that too. But I really enjoyed that series.
What's that on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
It's Untold, yeah.
That's the University of Florida, right?
Sorry?
University of Florida.
Yeah, Florida Gators.
Yeah, they're a popular university, because their basketball team is always in the.
They've done well as well a few times.
Yeah.
I think it was Jacob Noah. I think they won it 2 years in a row at some stage.
Haslam's from there.
Udonis Haslam.
Yeah, Udonis Haslam. It's one of those universities, those colleges in America that do well in both basketball and football. Like there's the main basketball colleges, but you hardly get ones with both.
Yeah,
and I think Florida was one.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
That has both.
Well, because I was listening to a podcast today that the Patrick Bet David is like a entrepreneur guy, but he was saying he set up, I can't remember, somewhere in Florida, but the reason was because the place is a draw card. So like he said he was in Dallas, and he's like, creatives don't want to live in Dallas, and then so it's like hot, it's got the beach, like so you can create and do, plus have all that as well, because a lot of people in LA, but they might not have like certain aspects. But he said in Florida it has everything. So maybe that's a part of it. Like you're going to get a good football team or basketball team. Plus you're going to get the beach, hot weather, plenty of girls walking around, things like that, So
I wonder whereabouts in Florida is it? Is it close to Miami or is it?
I was going to say, it reminded me of like just hearing you talk about it. I was like, man, that sounds like what they sold the Rock to sort of me to Miami. To get it to you,
Yeah.
Before they pulled it all down, eh?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing going for them.
Yeah. They he was saying, I know one of the things he said was probably like a mixture of things, but one of it was, he said when they had their gym in it was like a bit grimy, a bit dirty, like it wasn't all new. And I think he said he liked that. But there's probably other stuff as well, probably the weather and all that stuff as well. But you know what I mean? It wasn't like, sometimes the flash and that stuff says like, it's not used, there's no tradition, there's no history, you know what I mean? But if you go to someone that's been worn down a bit, it's like, man, all these people have come through here, before you. Yeah.
Oh, it's at the beginning of Florida, so it's close to Jacksonville and before Orlando.
I haven't been there, so I'm not. I just from what I've like watched on, online and movies and things like that. But it seems like it's a massive place, eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, Swamp Kings.
My second one, I got Fargo season 5. Now that's on right now, and man, it's awesome, man. I don't know if you guys watch Fargo the movie, but
Is it the horse or something?
Nah.
No, first Falape.
So it's a TV series based on the movie. So have you guys ever seen the movie Fargo?
No.
It's an old movie. Came out in the 90s, and it's about a town in Minnesota. So it's a snowy town, but they have a different accent up there. So it's funny when you hear them talk because there's a different accent. It's not like a dark comedy, but it's like a crime happens and there's a cop that's pregnant and she's like a wholesome lady, but she's not action. You see her, she's like an old lady that's pregnant.
Yeah.
Not old lady, but she's like a lady that's pregnant, and she has a husband and she does her job, but she's the main cop that has to solve this crime. But the criminals are really bad, real evil guys. Like you want to mess with these guys. So it's funny to see this poor lady sheriff. She's like a sheriff, pregnant, has to go up against these absolute killers. Eh?
Is that their story? Like how amazing, like a mother would be, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, it's odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
But I think it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
I haven't told you everything about it, but so apparently they made a TV series based on that movie. But this season that's come out this year 2023 is season 5. Now each of the seasons are whole different stories, so you can watch season 1 and season 2, and they're not related. So each season is a whole completely different story, but it's based in the same town that the movie came from. But the same people, not the same exact characters, but same people that live in the town, like but different stories in different parts of history.
Fuck.
So yeah, man, it's good, man. It's really good. It's good.
That's on Netflix.
It's on Neon. It's good because the stories are just layered. It's real violent, but it's real. It's comedy too, but it's real unpredictable. You can't predict what's going on. You don't even know what's going on.
Humor, like comedy.
Yeah.
With killers and
it
sounds like a mix. Like a mix.
Well, if you watch the movie, you guys should go home and watch that movie Fargo. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite movies because it's that mix. It's the comedy, odd characters. You don't think they will, interact and things will go well between these two different characters.
Yeah.
But they do sort of things. So. But it's good. It's a good series. So season 5 of Fargo. This is actually because season 1 of Fargo came out and it was really good. Then season 2 came out and it was season 1 was better. Then season 3 sucked, and then season 4 completely sucked. But season 5 is a comeback, sort of like a comeback. So season 5 is way better than 4, 3, 4, and 3.
That's tough. Usually it doesn't get better.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like the creators understood.
Yeah.
And say, we got to get back to the roots of what Fargo is all about.
Yeah.
The violence and the comedy, and the layering, because I watched it up to episode 5, right? And already I'm hooked, right? So hooked that this is on my number 3 list, But every episode, there's a new thing that happens added on to the story. So now you got to deal with a new layer of a storyline that you never knew before. So the characters always build each episode. You think you know a character, but you don't, because the next episode comes and there's a new layer. That's pretty cool. I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know how it's going to end. So I like the structure of it all. Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's Fargo season 5. My number 2.
I already made notes for Neon, so I'm like taking notes for your brother's favorites. My one's Below Deck. All the series, because my wife, I used to binge watch this, man. I used to always watch it at Kerry with my mate Michael as well, and it was cool because he'd come in say 20 minutes after me. I've watched the first 20, then I'll go out. I'll finish my break. He'd come in, and then on the next break, I would ask him, "Oh, what happened?" And he's he's good at telling stories, So once I told him, and I was trying to get my wife to watch it. Now she's watching it. She's been watching all the. But she started watching it from Mediterranean season 7, and now we're up to 8 now. I told her, "Are you watching it because of the boats, or are you watching because of the drama? Because some of the stewardess, they end up on other boats." And I was telling her, "Go back and watch from Captain Lee's season 2, and then watch." So that's what she's done. But because she's watching it, she's some of the new stuff that I haven't seen, so we'll be watching it together. I just crack up and she's like, "I already watched that one." We're like, "I haven't even seen it. It's supposed to be we watch it together." But I told her it's one of those. It's pretty cool when you start watching it, especially because she likes watching the tip, when they break out all the money and this how much they get. She's just for 2 days work. That's why I watch it, man, for the tip.
Yeah.
But even just the places that they go as well.
Sounds like Love Boat, but
oh man,
like a higher version of it.
To me, it's like if you had a dream job and you just worked, and then you got to go places where you'd never afford to go, but it's all paid for, and you can come back on the boat and just serve or do whatever the day-to-day runnings of the boat, and then get paid $1,800 for less than 24 hours of work. That's pretty cool because you're still getting paid, because that's just the tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they get paid for 6 months in advance, then they get the tip. So that's pretty good money.
Yeah.
And they've got a few Kiwis that have jumped on the boats as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. That she found that it is a pretty good watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Yush?
Nah.
It's funny because I watched it too. It was good. I watched the first ones, the one with Captain Lee,
yeah,
and the American one there.
Well, what I like about how Captain Lee is there's an order of rank, right? But he's not too old school military.
Yeah.
But you should obey, if you don't have your stripes. Yeah, if you don't have your stripes, but he's pretty stern like that. You don't have your stripes. So there's a reason why there's a stripe system,
He's a fair guy.
Yeah, bro.
Fair. He's hard, but he's fair.
He's hard and fair, yeah.
Yeah, when they get in trouble and that.
Yeah.
The thing that pisses me off about this program, I told you before in another podcast, man, you put Islanders on that boat, there won't be a show. Because you know how these Balangis are trying to do their hours in there, they complain, man. They don't want to do it,
Straight up,
they just want the free money, they'll do the half-assed job, and they'll get in trouble, And
on top of that,
but that's where most of the drama comes from on the show.
Yeah.
And that's what...
Who didn't do this? Who didn't
Yeah.
Or the bitching about, man, that guy's lazy. He doesn't even watch this down.
So it's that kind of stuff. That's why I say, man, Port Islanders doing their job. No complaints. They just do the job.
Happy with the...
And kept the deal there. What the hell, man? I them to growl off anybody.
But I'm waiting to see, apart from Deadliest Catch, which is they've had a few Samoans on the boat. Man, when I see a Samoan get on that bed, I wouldn't be surprised if I was the first Samoan who could get there, man. Like, I could do it, you know? It's like goals for me.
Even the men, the outside jobs.
Yeah.
Even their jobs, even they're lazy.
Complain, eh?
When you
Fucking
see
sweep the deck, man.
when you see the guys on the side of the road and it's like 35, 40 degrees and they're working hard, eh? I'm sure they can work on the boat easy.
Easy, man.
Those guys doing the asking for money at the lights, doing the window washers.
Yeah,
like,
hard.
even they put those guys on the job. They'll do it like double time.
Yeah, that's a good watch, man.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
got that's why you got the captain, eh? You need someone to run the show. Speaking of the captain, that's my second one. The captain, Derek Jeter.
Right.
Shout out to my boy, the Yankees. That's why I got the cap on. So yeah, Derek Jeter, the captain. Know all about the Yankees now. 5 championships. And I forgot to mention of the Swamp Kings. Yeah, they won. It was big because they won like 2 championships in a row, then lost, then won. So it wasn't common for a school to win like back to back or so close together. Yeah, so they were stacked. But then the captain was cool, man, because I just loved New York. And then Derek Jeter, it's just that dream, you know. He wanted to play for the Yankees because it has pictures of him as a little kid, and he's got like the Yankees jacket on and stuff, and he got drafted there, and he wanted to get drafted, you know, like number 1 or 3 or something like that, 1 to 3, and then he got drafted later, but that meant he got drafted by the Yankees. So it was all sort of meant to be. Like, it was like even his last game, you know, he got a hit, and then, you know, someone got home, and then they won. Just all the stuff he did, just real like integrity and honest, and he had like some good lessons. Like he always kept a small circle. And he was big on loyalty and stuff. Like once you crossed him, that was it forever. Things like that. Like, you know, he was very like good with his words. He didn't waste words, and he was to the point, and, you know, he answered the questions and stuff. So
How many episodes is it?
It was like 7, yeah. So now it was a good series, eh? He's sort of like the Michael Jordan of baseball in a way. But and it's funny because Jordan features on it. They're like friends.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, and he talks about Derek Jeter and stuff. He's like the only guy.
Why wouldn't he be the Tom Brady of baseball? Why would he beat Michael Jordan rather than Tom Brady?
I think the only thing with Jeter, because he didn't always have the best stats, but he won. He was a winner. Does that make sense? He was like a good team guy as well. But he didn't always have the best stats for like scoring and all that sort of stuff. But he just sort of drawed the best out in his team, or would like try to cut distractions, or, you know, he didn't want drama. Like he just wanted his team to focus. So he sort of had some of the intangibles, not just like, because Jordan was more like the attributes as well, eh?
Yeah.
Like he was athletic, he could score and all that stuff. Like Derek Jeter had that, he could hit and all that, but he was a good fielder. But he also had those other things as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Leadership.
When did you watch this? It was
It was Disney.
on Disney Plus. Yo.
Yeah, the captain. But Derek Jeter. Yeah, I'm gonna get me and my wife became fans, eh?
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna get a shirt, eh? We're gonna get a shirt, man. Jeter's the man. He ended up owning the Marlins for a bit, but then he stepped away because he had a vision, and then they didn't stick to it, so he stepped out. But he has a lot of good morals and principles and stuff like that that I really admired as well. So yeah, the captain was good.
Yeah. So I told you before, the podcast I heard about his extracurricular activities. Being a playboy and all that.
Yeah.
Different woman every week, sort of thing.
He didn't get into that stuff, obviously.
But I think he got the point of that story when I heard, because he got married.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, man, how did he get married, man? Fuck, he had all these girls like.
Well, he's married, like in the thing, he has him married and he's got a couple of kids.
Yeah,
he's a real family guy and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that was just a phase, eh?
Yeah.
When you're young, you know what I mean? Young, made the league.
Okay, my number 1 TV series for the year, and this is a hard one because there was heaps of. I actually thought Better Call Saul was gonna be there, but it was 2022, so I missed out. See, that I would have put that there, but this program comes at my number 1, The Bear, season
Bear.
2.
Is it the cooking one?
Cooking.
I remember you saying that. I've been meaning to get around to
It's
that.
a really good TV show, man. If you like food, and if you like what it takes to start a business, if you like, because it's about this guy who's a top chef, but his family owns like a sandwich bar.
Yeah.
Like it's run down, and it's his brother owns it, but he's the younger brother. He's like a top chef in the top like restaurants in town. So he's past all the just serving sandwiches and that. But the story is about his older brother. He passes away, so there's no one to run the family shop. So he's the younger brother. He quits his job to go run the family business, but it's a normal sandwich shop. It's not like a fast food kind of place. So he ends up taking over. This is season 1. So season 1's about him, trial and tribulations of him trying to take over the family business and dealing with his cousin that's there. He's a troublemaker, and he's working there too. And there's the workers as well. And then at the end of season 1, he decides to open a fancy restaurant to stop doing the sandwiches and remodeling the place and turn it into like a fancy restaurant and teaching his staff how to be fancy chefs. So season 2 is all about that. Season 2 is all about him trying to get money to start the new vision of a fancy restaurant, and him sending his workers over to chef school to learn how to be top chefs. So he's gonna take over. So that's what season 2 is all about. Man, it's awesome. It's an awesome show.
I like the sound of that.
No, it's not reality. It's a show.
I like the sound of that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So it's the Bear season 2. Season 2 much better than season 1. Season 1 was really good, but season 2 just up a level. So can't wait to season 3 next year. So that's one I want.
I like the entrepreneur sort of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah. But it's good. It's good. It's funny because it's a family. Because he has to try to get his older brother. He's like a bully sort of thing, and he's a drug addict. So I think he died. Oh, he committed suicide. That's how he died. But he left the place in debt.
Man.
Yeah, in debt. So the younger brothers come together. The cousin is there, and he's like a troublemaker, but he loves him because they're family. So he has to deal with him too. Then the younger sister, she has to come in and help, be the admin sort of thing. And the uncle, he's like a rich guy. They need to try to get money off him to fund and pay him back. So there's all these things happening. Plus the staff, he has to train up the staff, and he's stressed out because all this going on. It's all about that kind of stuff, all the drama around that. But it's a pretty good series. So that's my number 1, The Bear, season 2.
Well, I only started watching this TV show from the end of season 3. I don't know why. Sky changed the time. It stopped recording. But I managed to pick up a couple of episodes when I was in Melbourne. But this is Kevin Costner, bro, in Yellowstone, bro. Season 4 and season 5. I remember when I was watching season 4, Kim said that season 5 would be broken. So that's where I'm up to now. There's episode 6. So I haven't seen the back end of season 5. But man, that show's gold, eh?
Yeah, man.
Show is gold. I love how, I think it was the beginning of this season, Casey's wife was pregnant and their boy died and they named him John after him. And then they have the grieving process, which is something totally different, eh? It was like sort of something that only the Indians and the spiritual leaders of that land could teach them to deal with. And I thought it was cool, eh? It's pretty cool, like how even Kim Costner's or like Casey's sister, Beth didn't know. Like she's like, oh, okay, if this is the closest we're gonna get to the funeral, then we're not welcome. But then John carries on walking through, But just how he is with his family too. I just like it, let's eat at the main table, and the chef comes out, follows the eye and stuff. It's pretty cool, eh? But just how he is with his whole everyone on the ranch.
So there's a bit of American Indian influence.
At the moment, because I started watching it and it was just hype about individual characters on the ranch. But I think his bigger vision is that some investors and developers are going to come and eventually they want his land because it's a prime spot to put an airport. And the governor before him, he actually became the governor. He raised the son as his own. He became sort of like the next one in line. But he sort of felt he got a bit soft. Sort of like lost his eye off the tack of what he needed to do. And then he ended up becoming governor. But in his power, he has his daughter and his son. That pretty much is his administration. But now, yeah, I just sort of got to that. Like, now he's in charge. But the last episode I watched is when he does this thing every year where they go for a ride, and they go camp. And like he says the same thing before he leads his ride as well. Says at the start, just thanks everyone, and they just go ride for 2 days. So that's where I'm up to, and I haven't seen the back end of it. But he's the man, bro. Like, you know, obviously someone who cares about, like, and it's like anything, man. If you love something so much and you give a shit about it, you'll do everything in your powers, by all means, even if it's to sell your soul, you do it just to keep it intact. Like when I see it, even though it's just a film, but it's like some of the stuff that he's been doing and stuff that they've hid for years. It's like, man, this guy. So I know there's a spin-off from it, So I want to know what happens way before that, man. Shit. But I mean, like, you know, I don't know, like, I don't believe I'll go to a higher place after this life. But when I think about stuff that he's done to keep his family, like, just set, not like well off that they're going to be looked after for centuries to come, but it's like just in a good place. That sort of like gives me like promise, like, man, you know, you can be a good person. That's enough. You know, just being a good person is heaps. You don't need to be like, well, cure cancer, you know, get rid of the. You know,
make a big difference. You know, it doesn't have to
like
be.
Just being having a good heart goes a long way. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like Yellowstone, when it comes to Pacific Island people, like, it's important to us, I think, because we can relate to a lot of things that movie brings. Like the whole shit about working off the land, you know, being a rancher, working off the land. It's the same in the islands, when you work off the land.
Yeah.
And we can relate to these sort of things. The same sort of values of family and keeping your land and work and living off your land.
The importance of it.
You know, all that kind of stuff. Like, Pacific Islanders relate to that hard out. And that's why HODs loves this, because he knows Islanders love this sort of stuff. The country music, you know, if you deep down in Island music, is from the country music, man, you know? So we love all this stuff, you know?
Every time I hear the introduction music, I'm like,
it's good lyrics and stuff, country music, good storytelling.
And the other thing, like, I think Yellowstone is if you think about what's going on in the world and society today with the woke stuff, you know, like, this program is the anti that all of that. If you think about it, like, it's a masculinity kind of themes in this, like, men work outside, like, it's in the Bible, man. Men work outside, women work inside. That's exactly what this film is, you know, or this program is all about. You know, these kind of values, like the old school.
That sounds good,
hard out old school values that it just comes through, and they're just trying to. What they're trying to do is just, hey, we just leave us alone. We just want to do what we want. I mean, this is our land. This is my land. I just want to be here, like, sort of thing. So yeah, we can appreciate. I think Pacific Islanders can appreciate this program a lot.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Masai and Beth Yo.
You got number one?
Yeah, my number one was just the Tom Brady Man in the Arena.
Oh yeah,
it's sort of like the Jordan in the last stance, but it was for Tom Brady. Sort of like the captain. It's a different sport, but now Tom Brady, just to see his evolution from being like the young guy, he's being a role player, respecting the older guys, and then eventually being the leader, you know, and then sort of calling more shots, and just how much of a good team player he was too, because I've always followed football, but not like really deeply. So for looking from the outside, I was like, oh, this guy's carrying the team, but he's not. He's just like an integral part of it, and he does his role, and he's a good teammate. He's a good guy. So yeah, like you say, even like it's sort of like with the life, he doesn't have to be magical, you know, like just being nice. Same with his football, he just does his job, but just does it really well. But his defense is awesome in that too. So looking from the outside, it looks like he's doing everything, but nah, because the Patriots always had like great defense and things like that helped him. But he just was always a great teammate. But then he grew in leadership. But then also just seeing like his preparation and his evolution, you know, like over time he started to realize he had to stay more mobile and change things around and all that sort of stuff. So I just love seeing the preparation and the mindset. My wife always she always gets like a bit angry but I always stand up for Tom because, like, you know, hey, he left his wife because he wanted to play again.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all he knows, man. Like, he's a champion. You gotta like understand this is that's all he. You know what I mean? That's all he knows. She's like, yeah, but she gave him how many years? It's like, yeah, but there's gonna be a stage where he can't play. He just can't. If he thinks he can play one more year, give him that year. You know, and then he literally can't play eventually. You know, that's all he knows. That's in his DNA. But she's always like, nah, he had his years. He had enough years.
See, Tom Brady should have told his wife to go talk to Kobe Bryant's wife.
He's got to do what he's got to do, man. You know, that's what he was.
And then they divorced, and then it was only a year, and then he quit because he went to Buccaneers that time. Huh?
Yeah, well, like the thing was, he said like one more year, and then he did it. And then he was supposed to retire. He retired, but then he came back, and then she got sick of that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I can understand in a way, but you know,
is that
Tom's got to do what Tom's got to do.
Is that series? Every episode is every championship or every year of his career?
It goes every year, but they have to condense it obviously because you can't like cover every year, every aspect. So some things they sort of speed up.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting, like, because he got through for injuries, huh?
And
he had to come on, but he was good, eh?
Yeah.
And then he played in the playoffs, eh? And they won the Super Bowl, eh?
Yeah.
And then I first off with the guy that got injured. And
the guy got injured and then he never got a spot back.
Yeah, and he didn't.
You know, so there's some good lessons in there. He has some good lessons as well, similar to Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool one. Like, you know, even because him, another one of my favorite football players is Ray Lewis, and he was like, every time he got his chance, like for his high school, college, NFL, whenever he got a chance to go on, the guy who started never got back on again. You know what I mean? He always did that well that they wouldn't take him off, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Or they might take him off, but then the next game, you're starting. So it's just like a good thing for like athletes, like, you know, stop bitching and moaning and stuff like that. When you get your chance, you got to take it. Tom Brady, Ray Lewis, and them. You know, you can't just be average and then go, oh, why aren't I getting game time? It's like you got to make them go like, you're staying on, you know, like turn their head sort of thing.
You got to give them every reason why.
Yeah. You got to retire. You want to try to aim to retire the person in front of you, you know, so that they want to go to another team sort of thing. Or, you know, but nah, I love that series.